Okay, in this video, I'm going to give you an overview of week 3, being a collaborator. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about when we talk about current issues in educational technology. And some people might not think of it as an issue, but I really do. I believe that we limit students' capabilities of learning and their thinking and imagination whenever we don't invite other people into their educational experiences. When they only have access to people within their classroom, whether it be the teacher, the students, or even people at the school, they will tend to encounter people who have a lot of the same perspective and a lot of the same information. But when you break down your classroom walls, it gives your students this bigger than life thought about possibilities to connect with the world. And so I think technology has opened up these opportunities that before we really didn't have all that much. I mean, you could invite a person to come to your classroom, but then they had to be there, sometimes travel and all that kind of thing. But now there are so many opportunities to collaborate for both you and your students that there's really not a reason why not to do it. But there are some things you need to take into consideration when you are breaking down your classroom walls and becoming that collaborator. There's safety, there's, how do I find people to collaborate with, and what kinds of things should we do? We still need to meet standards, we still need to do our curriculum, and those are all valid concerns. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. They're all challenges that can be addressed. So this week, you're going to be watching a couple of videos and then choosing some other resources to look at. Kayla Delzer, I don't know if you know her, Top Dog Teaching. She has an awesome blog and she tweets a lot. So if you want to follow her, Top Dog Teaching. But she focuses on reimagining classrooms. And I just love listening to this TED Talk about her because she talks about in her second grade classroom how that everyone's a teacher and everyone's a learner. And so the students are actually teachers in her classroom too. So they teach other people how to do things. They teach her how to do things. But they also teach people outside of the classroom how to do things as well. And so it gives them this sense of accomplishment and that they can do really big things. And I just love her perspective on how she creates that classroom culture and environment for them that really motivates her students to want to do these things. And so then I want you to choose one resource from each of these. So you're going to listen to one podcast and 3 reasons to collaborate beyond your walls. So this is a discussion on EdTech Chat Radio about an EdTech Chat Twitter chat that went on and some resources that were shared there. And hardly any, I think all their podcasts are around 10 minutes long, not very long at all. And here's another one, tools and skills you need. So this is kind of more about how to actually do it. And then here are some from the 10-Minute Teacher podcast, Vicki Davis, Cool Cat Teacher. She interviewed a 3rd grade teacher. Her name slips my mind right this minute, but 7 global projects that she had done in her classroom and that her students have participated in. So those will give you some really neat ideas. And then articles. Some of these are, especially the ones on Edutopia and Ed Week, they are more about kind of the foundational information about doing it, not specific examples of global collaboration projects. And so these are reasons more to do it. And then Ditch That Textbook. I'm not sure if you guys know Matt Miller from Ditch That Textbook. He's also on Google Teacher Tribe podcast. He's a fantastic presenter and writer. And he has 10 ways to find them and then 7 steps to starting on the ISTE blog. This is a really good one too. So this one gives you a little bit of background, but then also some ways to find it. And then these videos, I've created a playlist on YouTube. I don't know if you guys know that you can do this, but all of these are TED Talks. And I love TED Talks, but they are about collaboration in different ways. So some of them might be collaboration that you can do with your students, with students in other schools. Some of them is just talking about how valuable collaboration can be. And so you can think about that from a student or teacher perspective. And then there are some about teamwork and all that. So I just wanted you to really get a foundation about, that was my husband calling, a foundation about collaboration and the value of that. And so you can think about that as you're exploring those resources. So this week you will discuss these different things. So collaboration at your own school, within a district, how do you communicate within your community or globally? And some of those answers to the questions might be, I don't. And that is totally okay. But I want you to then discuss the 3 resources that you looked at and then concerns that you have on your small group discussion boards for this week. And then later on in the week, or whenever you decide to start this, you will then be actually evaluating some collaborative project opportunities that you will pick then to participate in. And it'll feed into a project that you'll create that will be due Friday of this week. But I tried to kind of categorize these by the primary focus of the collaboration project. And so what you will need to do is look through these, and there's lots and lots of different ones. I tried to give a little blurb about what they were. But you will look at these. You can read all about them. I am embedded a couple of videos of some that this first one is actually a Google Hangout, a mystery hangout that my junior block students participated in with a first grade classroom in Wisconsin. And this one is actually talking about mystery hangouts and the value of them. And so what you're going to do with these projects is you're going to evaluate them according to these criteria. So I want you to give on your small group discussion boards. For this part, I want you to give the description. I want you to talk about how students participate, what the teacher does, and then challenges, because they will all have challenges. And so you're going to evaluate 2 of the collaborative projects from up here, or you might find some other ones on Google. That's totally fine with me if you want to, or on Twitter, either one that you want to evaluate. I'm totally fine with that. So you'll just give that information, because then later you are actually going to design a collaborative project creation, so you can create anything you want, really. It could be a video, it can be well, I have all the details here, but you are going to create something that will be used to inform your audience about the project. So if you're talking to parents about what you're doing in your classroom, let's say you are participating in a mystery hangout. So that your audience would be your parents, and you're trying to tell them how helpful and informative and awesome this project is for your students. And so you can go to there and see all the information there. So that is what we're going to be doing this week as we are focusing on collaboration and the value for both you and your students.